Hello and welcome. I am your host, Michael, or Lord Miguel, and we have just started Two Boys, One Cup. We're about to go into game two, and I have a very special guest with me, Harrycopter.
Hello there.
Hello, Harrycopter.
It's Two Boys, One Cast, as well as Two Boys, One Cup.
I love that.
Two Boys, One Mic, even.
Yeah, we are sharing a mic. This is a very interesting setup we've got going on here. I'm excited. You excited?
I'm very excited. It's kind of a must-win game for Sexpanther, isn't it?
He really needs to. You've obviously seen the first game.
I have. I watched it on the way here.
Yeah.
So it's fresh in the memory.
Fresh in the memory, perfect.
But just the dynamic of a best-of-5 series, right? You go down 2-0. You got to win all three of those last games.
It's a lot of pressure if he loses this game, and I think he really needs to pull it back. I think you're right. For those of you on YouTube, if you haven't seen the first game, you definitely want to go back right now. You want to watch that first game. You want to thumbs up. You want to like it. You want to subscribe. You want to ring that bell. Smash the bell?
Smash
the bell and watch that game. But right now, we're getting ready for game two. As you can see, the map pool now. The first game was on Arabia, and now we're going over to El Dorado. This is a very interesting map, a very fast-paced, dynamic map.
One of my favourite movies.
Oh, yeah, also a great Disney movie. And the Civs pick for this map, well, Hone has actually gone for the very powerful Cumans pick.
Yes.
Yes, and Sexpanther, he's gone for a late game powerhouse, the Mayans. How do you feel about these picks?
Well, it's been a while since I played AoE. I'm not going to lie to you, Michael. So if you could just give us a bit of an overview of what the Civs do for these two players.
We will do that, but I think we should probably get into the game first. We're in the spectator lobby right now, and we're gonna join and see what's going on. Oh, we're gonna download a custom file, that's fine. And we're in. Alright, so yeah, like I said, Mayans late game powerhouse Civ, and I'm a little bit worried for Sexpanther here, because last game he really did not show any kind of late game prowess. You gotta wonder.
Yeah, I think the later the game goes on, the more advantage goes to Hone. Obviously, as you said on your last cast, he's had the more practice time in the recent weeks. This is actually a really interesting map. There's fish all around the town centre.
How neat is that? We have great fish marlin. They're right under the TC, so you have a very safe early game food source, which is very important.
And those marlins, are they a new addition for this version of AoE 2?
No, this is very old, but they have been placed on the shores, which is very unusual. I'll take a moment to talk about the map. This is El Dorado. As you can see, your TC, it starts surrounded by shallows. You cannot build on this. This means you cannot have farms around your starting town centre, and this makes your bases you build it very raidable. So it's a very fast-paced game. Next thing we'll talk about is the water around the edge. As you can see, there's water right around the entire edge of the map, and that's filled with a lot of fish, so it's definitely worth docking this, fishing it, boosting your economy. And what's really interesting is, much like other maps called Gold Rush, all the gold and stone is in the centre of the map, and what makes this particularly interesting, if we're centred on Hone at the moment, if we go turn the Fog of War on, everyone can see the centre of the map.
Wow.
There's no sneaking in there to get an upper hand. As soon as you make a move on the centre, the enemy knows and they can respond accordingly. And so Sexpanther can see that centre as well.
And looking at the full map, in contrast to Game 1, the bases seem to have quite a closer proximity to each other.
They are quite close. This is a very fast-paced, close map. They're close to the centre and they're close to each other, yes.
There was a lot of time in Game 1 travelling between the two bases. As soon as the bases extend a little bit more closer together and they're fighting over that middle section, we're going to have combat thick and fast.
Often you see people trying to almost make the centre their base in this map,
Right.
which can lead to very, very messy but exciting gameplay.
Very good. And towers, would they be important in this map?
Almost certainly. As soon as one of the main strategies, I think, is getting to the second age, which is when you can build towers, and then dropping those as possible. Here we got, look, we have Sexpanther.
Yes.
And he is actually luring his boars. Ladies and gentlemen. He's also going ham on the fish.
It sounds like Sexpanther might have listened back to your cast of game. If you do remember from that game, you were really getting into them not using his boars.
He does need to do it. How is his scouting? Should we look at Sexpanther's scouting this game? Is he using... Yeah, so what he's done here, so recently there was a update, and we now have this auto scouting feature. And so it looks like he's turned that on. You can see how nice and gritty and perfect scouting is on his side of the map. It's not a very smart feature, but it does do a good job of giving you a map.
A game of micromanagement, the more you can focus on the important tasks, which in scouting is important, but building your base and creating an economy seems to be at the core what AoE is about.
This is exactly true. I mean, especially for players of this kind of level.
Yes. And we saw that in game 1. Players of this kind of level, if you can build a strong enough economy and the game goes late enough, that's where Hone really started to shine through. Once he got those castles online, that's where the swing happened, and the economy behind Sexpanther wasn't strong enough to compete with it.
Correct. He was really holding out for that castle. Just take a note over here. If we look at Hone's got 5 villages on wood. And I think that's indicative of a dock, and sure enough, a dock has just gone up. And he's going to be aiming for that fish, which is really good move by Hone, nice and early on this fish. That's going to give him a huge advantage in economy if he plays this one out correctly.
Yeah, with the water mainly being around the exterior of the map, transport ships aren't really going to be in play.
No.
Is there much worth of controlling the seas around the outside of the map?
Controlling, no, but what you often do see is someone maybe making a single fire ship and sending it to the other side to take out the enemy fish.
Right.
Just as like a little sneakeroo whilst you're, hopefully whilst they're distracted as well.
Yeah, but is that just another element you have to focus on that could distract from the more core elements of the game? For players of this level,
like controlling the centre, for example.
For players of this level, is it more important to focus on the basics and do them really well than trying some of these more advanced techniques like taking out fish, which would maybe only make a difference in the more pro games?
I feel like, oh, someone's howls. That's very embarrassing. Sexpanther is howls. Sorry, I just had to not answer for a second. It's he needs to build a house and he's got no one building a house.
And you'd think he'd realise, considering the population bar at the top literally blinks at you.
And it makes that horrible sound. Like,
yes.
Here we go. We got one villager building a house. It's an emergency villager. And you know, at the same time, yeah, so he researched loom in that time, which is a pretty good idea. He noticed he got house. He noticed he wasn't going to build a house fast enough, so he researches loom. Loom is an upgrade that gives your villagers a little bit more armor.
A counter to early aggression.
Yeah, and it's very important that as soon as you get yourself housed, the first thing you do is research loom to save that villager idle, that TC idle time, that center idle time that we talk about. He's building another house for good measure. He's scared. He doesn't want to be housed again. So I completely forgot what you were talking about before we talked about this housing.
I think you can't stress enough how important this game is for Sexpanther. Lord Miguel, if he goes down 2-0, there's going to be no room for wiggle room. There's going to be no mucking around in game 3. He's going to have to play a perfect game if he wants to get back in the series.
I agree. He's going to be tilted otherwise. He probably already is a little bit tilted. He's definitely the underdog in the series so far.
We do know Germans tend to get angry.
Yeah, and he is German.
Yes, from birth.
Alright, so we've got a fast feudal from Sexpanther. That means Hone's going to be going... Yeah, Hone's going to be going for... If we look down here, I can actually change. You can see the villager counts. Hone's got 24 villagers. This includes fishing ships, and you can see it's probably... most of the difference there is the fishing ships, because Sexpanther only just got up his dock. He hasn't made any fishing ships yet. But he's not gone up to the second age yet, and that's indicative of a fast castle, and this is not what I was expecting from Hone. So Cumans get a second town centre in the feudal age. I was expecting him to do a fast feudal and go straight to the centre of the map and build a town centre in the centre instead of a tower, which would have been a great play. But we're not seeing him take advantage of his civ yet, and I think that's very interesting. It could be that he's just trying to get to the late game as fast as possible and force his large economy all over Sexpanther.
Well, it's almost a little bit arrogant from Hone in the fact that he knows he has the late game advantage. So he's just not worried at all about any sort of early game tactics. He's just trying to make a strong economy and get through to that later stage of the game in a good shape.
He knows that he just has to survive.
I actually don't know if Sexpanther's taking the right tactic by not putting any early aggression, or if you're not going to early aggress on this sort of a map, take some control over that middle of the map. What's that look like Hone's doing, moving slightly closer to the middle of the map?
So yes, so Hone's going forward of the barracks and many villas, and this is going to be a tower in the centre or something akin to that. You can tell that's exactly what he's thinking about. In fact, he is going up to the feudal age. He's at 82%, and I think we're going to see that town centre I was talking about.
Can we send someone to Sexpanther's house to wake him up?
See this. Sexpanther can see these villages in the middle of the map right now. He knows, and what's his gun? He's going to a blacksmith. You know what? He's got a lot of people on wood, this Sexpanther, and still no fishing ships. This is shambles.
Right. Yeah, that's
what is he using all that wood for? He's got 300 wood.
This is one of those moments where I hope he's got something planned, and we're just not aware of what his master plan is yet.
He could be trying to fast castle this, and because Mayans are a late game powerhouse, and he could be trying to prove to us that he can play the late game.
Yeah.
And he can do it. We got some Militia coming out for Hone now. He's performing. It's pretty. Doesn't really count as a drush anymore. They're both in feudal age, but it's definitely some feudal pressure. He's not using them to raid. He's just making sure that he has full control of this centre, and his second town centre is going up. This town centre is really important for Hone. It means not only can he build more villages from it, which doubles his villager production in respect to Sexpanther, but it also means that he's going to control the centre because it's a defensive structure. He can shoot arrows, he can garrison his villages inside.
Yeah, absolutely. And now looking at the bottom right hand of the screen with the scores for Sexpanther and Hone. Sexpanther is quite ahead, almost 150 points ahead of Hone. What are we not seeing in Sexpanther's base that gives him such a strong score?
So what we can do is we can quickly check the scouting. The scouting actually looks quite even for them. They've both done about 50%, and sometimes that score inflation can be due to someone scouted the map far better than someone else. Because every 10% or something gives you actually quite 100 score.
Is it technologies? Has Sexpanther taken a few technologies?
They had similar villager numbers. Sexpanther is housed again. He's going for a fast castle for sure. That's why he's built the blacksmith and the market. You need two buildings to go to the next stage. He's building his barracks now. I'm not sure about that. I think he just had the extra wood, so he is just doing that. I can't see an obvious reason why Sexpanther has more score, especially because he's not even on the fish. It might just be that he's been less distracted. He's built more villages from his town centre. We've got some idols. I wonder how long they've been there, because those fish should be gone by the by minute 8 and we're minute 15. So it makes you wonder. Also, Sexpanther has a very huge wood economy still, and I wonder why he's opting for that. He could be.
He's got
thinking
some
of an
idols by the base
transition
there as well.
Yeah. Here they
We
go.
don't-
Picked up. Nice. Good job, Sexpanther.
Friends of the stream will know idling is probably the biggest crime in AoE.
It is the biggest crime. The only crime. There's actually a mod you can get that changes the graphics. There's a large exclamation mark above the villager.
That's just cheating, isn't it?
Wow. It helps a little bit. There is a hotkey button to find idle villagers.
Should be spamming that all available
They
moments.
should be. They should be. Here we can see a lot of industry in the centre of the map by Hone. But he's still not using these militia or the scout. And I don't agree with this. He could be sending these units forward. He could be hitting the stone. He could be denying what I kept seeing. So here we go.
Outside of that stone that Sexpanther has near his base there, if he doesn't have control of the middle map, where is his next stone?
He doesn't have any other stone but this is all the stone that he needs. He's going to Castle Age. He's on 40% now. His is far ahead of Hone. Where were we looking at with Hone in terms of going to Castle Age? He's ages away. He doesn't have any of the food. He's currently pop-capped. He's been building too much army. This is the play. This is what Sexpanther's been decided to do. He is going to do a fast castle. He's going to castle drop the centre, and there's going to be nothing that Hone can do about that. He doesn't have enough army.
It's almost as if game 1 for Sexpanther was a setup. The early aggression, meaning Hone would have to be aware of it. Building such a great army in the early stages of game 2, but this army could prove useless if Sexpanther can fully pull off the castle play here.
Exactly.
I like this. This is going in a good direction.
This army is too small to really stable for proper castle drop, and you know what? All he has to do is add a couple of archers himself and a couple of skirms, and he can defend his own castle. And here's the real question. Where is he going to put that castle? And I think right here is the best spot.
Well, once he has the stone to get the castle, gold should be his new focus, correct?
Yes, correct. He needs that gold. He already has the high wood that he needs to build the archers, so he can make these plumed archers out of the castle. Very powerful, very fast, very mobile. Here comes the villagers. They're going forward. He's here. He's out. He can't be seen. He knows he can't be seen. He's being very sneaky. He's thinking, how do I do this? He sees this. He knows this is here. Because it's under the... let's have a look at his point of view. I'm pretty sure he knows that those are there. Yeah, he can see them. He's trying to be sneaky. What does he do here? Does he place a castle in the fog of war a little bit? Maybe around the side here, just to get some gold. What's his plan?
Oh, here comes some aggression.
Here comes some aggression. They come right out of that fog of war. Let's see. Oh, no, he's back. They're tentative. He needs more archers.
The cavalry is shrinking in health. The cavalry is down,
Cavalry
which is
down,
important for
very,
Sexpanther.
It is. It's very important. It means that he won't be as easily scouted now.
The army from Hone is larger.
This Eagle Scout's doing work though. Very impressive. It's got a lot of it's got 2 pierce armor, so that these archers with their 4 attack, they're only doing 2 damage to it every hit.
He has dropped though,
Yeah, he
and
has
little to no more army
He
from
needs to
Sexpanther.
get these villagers. He needs to come down here and just start building his castle in the fog of war. I think the sooner that castle comes up, there it comes. It's coming on the far right. Is it visible? Will Hone see it? Or is Hone can see it? Will he respond?
With four...
Does he know? Does he realise he's bringing his army back? Is it to go down there and deny the castle? This could be the most important part of the game right here.
Four
this castle
villages is going to build quite quickly for a castle.
It is only at 25%, and here
those
comes
villages
the army.
are on the side of the army.
Is it going to be a doubt castle? Is that what the plan is here? Will he get it up? He's housed. There's pressure. No, Hone is housed. Is he making archers? Is he making anything? He's not. He has all this food and wood. He could be popping down 2 more rangers and pumping out archers, but he's not. Will this castle come up? It's not going to come up. I don't think it is. What do you think, Harrycopter?
I think Hone has successfully countered this first castle attempt.
And he's not going to have the stone to build another castle. He's mined... Oh no, he might have the stone to build another castle. So that's what I think he should have done. He should have built one castle out of the fog of war, hidden, and the second castle within range of the first castle coming in. He needs this castle. He's got crossbow. This is a big play. He doesn't have any of the upgrades. But if he can pump out enough castle age units, that should have actually been his play. He should have gotten his upgrades first, pumped out a couple of crossbows, and then he would have dominated this early game aggression. And instead, Hone's going for a full feudal push. So another special thing about the Cumans is they can make siege workshops in the feudal age, and that's exactly what he's done. He's pumping out battering rams. If Sexpanther's not careful, he might lose too much here. This castle's not going up. He needs a defensive castle.
One of the impressive things I've found with Hone is in Game 1 he utilised his civilization well, and in Game 2 he's doing it again, making use of those siege weapons. Game 1 for Sexpanther, his civ was so strong early game in infantry, and he did a bit of early aggression, but he could have kept going a bit further with it, so I don't know if he utilised the civilization to its full capacity. Game 2 he might be falling into the same trap here.
Yeah, and he's making skirmishes. This is the wrong thing. These cost food and wood. What is
and the battering ram's going straight for the town centre of Sexpanther.
Yeah.
This is bad news for Sexpanther.
Sexpanther simply doesn't have the stone to make any defense. He can't finish his castle because he's not game's over. It means that he can rebuild his town centre, but what's the point? He's just going to build it somewhere else. It's going to be battering ram again. There's no way to defend this. And he doesn't have access to gold. He's been completely shut off by gold.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in Sexpanther's room right now to see the sweat dripping off his forehead.
This is not the game he was
dripping down to his German brow.
Yeah.
Will be intense.
Yeah. And this is the power of the Cumans. The Cumans, they're only in feudal age, and this is their point. What Sexpanther really needed to do is he needed to not engage until he had enough archers, enough crossbows, and they had those upgrades. And that was really important to make sure that castle went up. Or he shouldn't have been so forward at this castle. He should have been more conservative. He should have seen this coming.
It is the ultimate role reversal as Sexpanther is indeed himself being... don't know if I can use this word on stream.
It's not a children's stream. He is being It's not a children's stream. Oh my goodness. And now it's just it's not even the beginning of the end. The end was a little while back. Will we
see a GG, or will the stubborn frustration of Sexpanther leave him to stay in this game?
I don't think we're going to see too much stubbornness. I think Sexpanther should be knowing right now. He should be thinking, wow, there's no coming back from this.
The villagers continue to chop wood. Has that been his downfall?
I honestly think too heavy on wood, and you can see that he's got over 1,000 wood in the bank. He's got 1,000 food too. He's not been using his resources very efficiently.
Wood's such a common resource.
He's fighting with his villagers now. This guy's confused. These guys are chasing this one girl.
It's a little bit sad to watch at this stage.
It is. It is. I mean, it's all over, isn't it? He got the castle up! A sneak villager, and he has his castle up. All he needs to do now is pump out with all that lack of gold he has. He's selling his wood for gold. He could pump out some plumed archers, and that's exactly what he's doing. If these have upgrades, they might turn the tide. Yes, these battering rams are scary.
Can you really survive with just a castle? Because it looks like every other building is gone to rubbish.
He needed to do this ages ago, is the problem. He needed to do these plumed archers, they are strong. They have no upgrades, but they're still strong. He needed to do this
How do they fare against the battering ram? Battering rams obviously aren't good against infantry, but it's going to start laying into the castle.
Yeah, 100%. These plumed archers won't be able to do anything against the rams, which are all now beating down on this castle. Look at the ram train. Choo choo! Here we go. The villagers are just being mopped up. It's definitely over. I got excited by the castle being up, but it's not going to happen.
The
It's not
close
gonna
proximity of the bases from the start has not helped Sexpanther.
No, here come the Plumed Archers, a hopeless attempt to kill some of Hone's villagers. To be fair, if they killed all of these villagers, they still wouldn't be even. Hone has 82 villagers, including fishing ships, which aren't really working anymore. But 80 villagers versus Sexpanther's 10. It's pretty poor. And Sexpanther can't even make more villagers. He didn't even go that heavy on food, which I definitely think was a mistake. He had the wood for extra docks, extra fishing ships. He should have been pumping them out like no tomorrow. And he would have had the food. There goes the castle. That ram train has arrived into the station. And Hone, just the industrialization of this game, just clearing the jungle of the Sexpanther. What do you think? GG is called.
The fact that Hone didn't get past Feudal Age and still took a commanding victory just, I think, shows the gap in class between these two players.
I mean, I think you could be right. To be fair, Cumans are make a play in Feudal Age kind of civ, because normally you don't get Siege Workshop, and it really was those rams that allowed him to push forward and finish off the game. But I think you're right. Hone came into this game with a clear plan.
He's shown that he can do the late game. In game 1, now he's shown he can do an earlier game rush. Not a full rush, because it waited till the Feudal Age until he got those battering rams off, but it was definitely a faster victory than game 1, showing he can play fast and can also play early.
Yeah, I agree, and really this does put Sexpanther really heavy on the back foot on that side, doesn't it?
In terms of holes, he's dug a big one.
Oh, it's huge. And you know what? I feel like he has 2 shovels or something, because it's going down fast.
He's lost an arm, lost a leg. He's going to have to worm his way out.
As you can see, units lost 8 for Hone, units killed 67. All obvious things here. But look at their differences in economy. Too much wood, 11k wood.
That's Hone's.
Hone, oh yeah, he did too much wood too.
But battering rams cost wood.
Correct.
And that was a clear strategy from him.
Yeah, correct. He played to his strength there. Sexpanther, he's got too much food, if anything.
Well, neither player went heavy on food.
Sexpanther needed more wood and gold for his archers.
Yes.
He never pumped them out fast enough.
Yes.
Here we're going. Nice fast castle from Sexpanther, to be fair. He had this plan in his mind, but he just didn't. He needed to get that castle up. And if that castle should have gone up in his base, not on the edge.
It shows the importance of mere seconds in a game of AoE. That castle gets started maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds earlier, and he might have got that up, and that could change the game dramatically.
Do we think that he forgot that the middle was visible to Hone, and that's why Hone responded?
I think he had some okay map awareness, because he was keeping his villagers back away from the infantry that was scouting from Hone. But the castle, as you said, was probably just the tiniest bit too close to the middle, or he could have tried to double castle, making a fake one and getting lit up in the time wasted trying to build that first castle.
Very tricky for him, unfortunately. So that is the second game. Hone takes it 2-0, and the next game will be on the map Bay, and we'll find out what civs they want to pick. But thank you so much for coming and co-casting with me, Harrycopter. You had some really great insight.
Well, I don't know about the boys, but I'm ready to run it back.
Yeah,
if this game's going to go over in 3 games, why not run it out?
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see how they feel after that. All right, thank you very much on YouTube, and look forward to the game number 3 on Bay.